You don't think you're lazy. And honestly, you probably aren't. You're just waiting for the right moment. Waiting until you have a little more money to start investing. Waiting for things to slow down at work. Waiting for Monday. Waiting for next year. But while you're waiting, someone with half your opportunities is out there building wealth with whatever they've got. Today, we're talking about the most silent and most expensive habit in your life. The one that doesn't scream at you, doesn't show up on your bank statement, doesn't even hurt when it's happening. But over time, it's the reason millions of people stay exactly where they are. Procrastination doesn't scream, it whispers. Most people connect poverty to a lack of opportunity. And yeah, inequality is real. Systemic barriers are real. I'm not brushing that off. But there's another layer to this conversation that almost nobody wants to touch. It's the layer of what you do or don't do with the opportunities that are already right in front of you. Recent research shows that about 20% of American adults are chronic procrastinators, and 40% have already taken a direct financial hit because of procrastination. 40%. Not a lack of resources, a lack of action with the resources they already have. And the worst part, financial procrastination doesn't come with a warning label. It shows up disguised as common sense. I'll wait until I'm more stable before I start investing. I don't really understand this stuff yet. Now's just not the right time. That's not being careful. That's the silent habit working against you. Why your brain picks the couch every time. To really understand why we procrastinate, we have to stop beating ourselves up and start looking at what's actually going on inside our heads. Your brain was built to survive, not to get rich. There's a part of your brain called the limbic system. It handles instant rewards, pleasure, and avoiding discomfort. And when you think about opening an investment account, setting up an Amazon store, or studying something that could actually change your life, your limbic system doesn't see an opportunity. It sees a threat. So it does what it always does. It pulls you toward what's familiar. The scroll, the couch, Netflix, putting it off. Aristotle called this akrasia, the human tendency to act against your own better judgment. In other words, you know what you should be doing, and you do something else anyway. Not because you're dumb, because you're human. The enemy isn't a lack of dreams. Almost everybody has dreams. The enemy is the constant escape from the work it takes to actually get there. And unlike other financial traps, this one has no visible interest rate. The cost is invisible, until one day you look back and finally see how much every "I'll do it later" really cost you. The numbers nobody wants to hear. Let me put this into real numbers. According to the Federal Reserve's 2024 survey, 39% of working Americans have zero retirement accounts. None. Nothing. Not a single one. Not because the option doesn't exist, because they never opened one. And according to a 2023 Goldman Sachs asset management study, 42% of American workers stopped contributing to their retirement accounts because of financial hardship and never started back up. Now think about what that actually costs in compound interest. Someone who starts investing $200 a month at 25, with an average 7% annual return, walks into retirement at 65 with around $525,000. The same person who waited until 35 to start. They get there with $240,000. The difference isn't the money. It's the decision that got pushed back 10 years. Two guys, same city, Chicago, Illinois. The first one is Tyler. Grew up middle class. His parents paid for college. Landed a solid job at 23, $58,000 his first year. But Tyler always had a reason not to start. I'll wait until the car's paid off. I'll wait for the promotion. I'll start when things are more stable. Today, Tyler is 34. No savings, no investments. Just that constant feeling that money disappears before it ever gets a chance to grow. The second one is Omar, son of Mexican immigrants in Chicago. His parents didn't pay for college. He started as an assistant at a print shop making $28,000 a year. But Omar did one thing differently than Tyler. He didn't wait for the right moment. He started with whatever he had. $50 a month at first, then $100, Then his own digital printing business, one that now brings in $400,000 a year. Tyler had more resources. Omar had more consistency. And in the long game, consistency beats resources every single time. The story you keep telling yourself. The real villain isn't laziness. It's the story you tell yourself to justify doing nothing. I don't have enough money to start. I don't know enough about finance. I'll start on Monday. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, one of the best-selling behavior books of the last decade, has a line that hits different. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. But there's something even deeper that Clear digs into in the book. Procrastination isn't a time problem. It's an identity problem. You don't procrastinate because you're lazy. You procrastinate because you haven't decided yet who you want to be. Because every action we take is a vote for the version of ourselves we believe we are. If you believe you're just not a finance person, every day you don't study a business model or open that investment account is another vote for that identity. You don't have to try 100 things at once. You just have to start something. What separates the people who act from the people who dream? There's a study on this that's both classic and kind of brutal. A long-term study from the University of Pennsylvania found that self-discipline is a better predictor of financial success than IQ. Not talent, not opportunity, discipline. And the book, The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley, which spent decades studying what real wealthy Americans actually look like, came to a conclusion that goes against everything Hollywood sold you. Most rich people in the US didn't get rich overnight. They got rich quietly, through small actions repeated over years. No inheritance, no lucky break, just invisible consistency. Motivation doesn't change lives. Motivation is volatile. It shows up on Monday and ghosts you by Thursday. What changes lives is the first concrete step, small, imperfect, right now. So let me ask you something directly. What's the thing you keep putting off today that's going to cost you tomorrow? Is it finally finishing that thing you researched but never actually started? Is it spending 20 minutes this weekend figuring out where your money actually goes every month? Because the difference between Tyler and Omar wasn't intelligence, wasn't luck, wasn't inheritance. It was that Omar chose to start imperfect, while Tyler kept waiting for perfect, which never showed up. The silent habit keeping millions of people broke isn't a lack of opportunity. It's the daily decision to put off what will only grow if you do it today. You have the information now. Now you have a choice. If this video made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already subscribed, there's a lot more coming. See you in the next one.